Hello and welcome to another Contemplative Living, where we talk about concepts to bring contemplative living into everyday life. So, Spirit once said to me, change in yourself is changing the world. For you are the most beautiful being living a purpose-filled life. Flow with your inner knowing in this exceptional moment, sowing positive seeds of empowerment and awakening. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about self-awareness. So let's get to it.
Welcome to Contemplative Living, where we view contemplations for the week to have a better understanding of our spiritual paths. This is Contemplative Living with Dave Bennett, Contemplations and Reflective Meditations.
All right then, if we're going to look into our self-awareness or try to enhance our self-awareness, we first have to look at eliminating our anxieties and fears. And so to release fears and anxieties, bring self-awareness to them and consciously recognize they no longer help or serve our present reality. So when we recognize what our anxieties, what are the root of our anxieties and the root of our fears, that's bringing our awareness, our self-awareness, and shining a light on those root causes. And this is how we overcome them. It's not a matter of our ego bashing, our fears and anxieties. No, we just want to recognize them so that they no longer hold sway over our being, but they're there for a purpose. A lot of times we have anxiety because a situation may not be in our best interest, and that's just a good old human warning signal telling us to be aware. So, but a lot of times we allow the actual fear to overcome our being instead of recognizing it for what it is, a signal to us to be aware. All right? So when we bring our self-awareness into the picture, then we can recognize it. It becomes what it's meant to be, a signal for us to be able to move forward. Reclaim the present moment and be free to act according to your true nature. That's where your courage resides. So, our true nature is always available to us. It's our higher sense of being. Some people call it our true being. But when we reclaim the moment by bringing our self-awareness and recognizing the situation, the circumstances that we find ourselves in, then our true nature, because our self-awareness is connected directly to our true nature. And so that's our higher consciousness, and it allows us to act with that authenticity. And that's where our courage really comes from, is from our authentic self. So still the mind. You are not a thought that comes and goes or an emotion. You are the observer of all these things. So we let those thoughts be like a wave. Allow it to move in its own will and cascade along the shore and then dissipate back out to sea. We allow those thoughts to come and go, but we observe them. We take note of them. It's not that we're ignoring them. We're just allowing them to flow their rhythm, and we rise above with our awareness, our consciousness, and observe. When we can reach the state of observation, that's when we have a connection to our true nature, our higher consciousness, and we achieve what's known as clear vision. And this clear vision helps us to see what those thoughts are really telling us and helps us to be able to act on them in a way that's more beneficial for not only ourselves, but for our family, our communities, and the world at whole. The key to self-awareness is contacting the source of renewal deep within our being. So we need to take time to nurture ourselves. We need that self-reflective time where we can gather our energies and go within and connect with that deep, really creative source that is a part of us. And when we're in that creative energies of our true nature, of our higher being, then we find how renewing that is for our sense of being. It boisters us up, it buoys us up so that we can be the best that we can possibly be. Align your awareness to the creative energy of life, which flows from the Creator. We're part of the Creator. The Creator is a part of us. And that's why so many talk about connecting to the oneness, because we are a part of it. It is a part of us. And when we turn our awareness to our true nature, then we feel that expansiveness of the greater awareness of the Creator, of oneness, whatever you choose to call it. And that's when we feel, that's the creative juices that really help us, that stimulate our senses and bring us into a greater sense of being in the present moment. You are here now. You have always been here. And the only journey is self-realization. When we get to that point where we can connect to our true nature, our higher self, then we are on the path of self-realization, of our greater sense of being in this world. And we are more here. We are more present in our authentic way to be able to participate in this life in a much greater and more meaningful way. So when we're in that state of higher awareness, we are being more authentic. People seem to think that that when you go into your true nature or you go into your higher consciousness, that you're disconnected with the reality of this world. It's just the opposite. You're more connected. You have an expansion of consciousness that allows you to be more present. And that is the journey of self-realization, of being present within the circumstances, but your consciousness has risen above the circumstances so that you don't get pulled down into the base dramas and all of that, so that you can then act appropriately with empowerment and move forward. So we place our trust in the divine and in our connected sense of self-awareness. They work together. That sense of oneness, of being a part of the greater all, are part of our Creator. We trust in that connection. That connection is who we are. and we are a reflection of that. And so it brings us to the point of being authentic, being real, living with self-awareness and working on creating that reality within every aspect of our life. And so I hope you find that connection to your greater self, to your higher self, and you find that sense of expansion so that you can work toward a better self-realization for your family, for your community, and for the world. I hope you have a blessed week. Namaste.